Alright, so I guess this is Times of India. I guess that's what the TOI stands for. Trump threatens military action in Nigeria. Well, I'll pop in the video and take it from there. Advocacy groups say the government has denied the severity of violence against Christians. I wonder why. Me as a Westerner, I can't help but notice there's a concerted effort against Christianity. And that's me living in the West. Monitoring groups say there's no evidence to indicate Christians are being yeeted more than Muslims. And yet advocacy groups say Christians are being targeted. So, which is it? So Trump's threatening to cut off foreign aid to Nigeria. Well, part of me wants to say he should cut off all foreign aid to all countries. But that being said, he does go around saying he's pro-Christian, right? So by putting pressure on the Nigerian government, by saying, hey, if you don't stop or step in, I'm going to cut funding to your country, maybe that'll help the Christians.
So Christians are now being scared to move about. Christians are scared to worship freely. The priests, the lay leaders, the seminarians and all that. So things need to be done. It's bad.
So Christians are scared to move about. Well, that's called mental harm to members of a group, which actually fits into the terms of a Geno. And yes, Christians are being yeeted, deliberately inflicting on the group conditions of life calculated to bring about its physical destruction.
We don't mind if the U.S. Army could take charge. At least peace will reign. If that will bring solution to Nigeria as a whole, then we are good to go.
Now this woman wants the U.S. Army to protect the military, and that it would be a good solution to bring peace to the region. Yes and no. In the short term, yeah, it'll bring peace to the region, but how long will the U.S. have to stay there for? The U.S. was literally in Afghanistan for 2 decades fighting the Taliban, right? So does the U.S. really want to be stationed in Nigeria for 2 decades? Probably not. Now, if you want a lasting solution, it said in the video that Muslims are predominantly in the north, while the south is majority Christian. So here's my thought. Take a pair of scissors and cut it up. Muslims get the north, Christians get the south. If there's Muslims in the south, they go north. If there's Christians in the north, they go south. And then they each build a barrier dividing it between north and south. And in the middle, there's no man's land. And if Muslims try to get into the south and settle the south, the Christians have every right legally to say, get out, and if the Muslims don't get out, the Christians can use force.
We've seen situations where the United States have helped countries, in quotes, to solve their issues, and they left it worse than it was.
She's not wrong. Just look at the Middle East. The U.S. went in the Middle East to make it better, right? Afghanistan, Iraq. Afghanistan, 2 decades there. Who's in charge? The Taliban. So nothing much has changed there. Iraq, you got rid of Saddam, but now Iran's strutting around like a peacock. funding the Houthis and the Hamasians. So I would say the U.S. left the Middle East in a worse position. Land disputes between farmers and herders? Yeah, I could believe that. However, in my opinion, all evidence is pointing to Islamic fundamentalists. Islam in Nigeria. In Nigeria, Pew Research polled the views of Muslims on Islamist groups. 45% favored Hezbollah, 49% favored Hamas, and 49% favored Al-Qaeda. So yeah, that's just under half of the Muslim population, right? So yeah, I'd be worried about that if I was a Christian in Nigeria. So wrapping this video up, if the states ever did get involved, I would say just cut it in half. North for the Muslims, south for the Christians. Do what you did in the Koreas. Have a demilitarized zone so they can't just walk on in and cause trouble. Because if the US goes in there and starts acting as a police force, they'll probably be stuck in there for decades. So yeah, just take a pair of scissors to the map, give the north to the Muslims and the south to the Christians. Well, that's it for my thoughts on the matter. Take care out there in Clown World.